Hello and welcome to day 51. Um, if you were with us yesterday, we kind of started stage two, which actually took us almost like it felt like we went back to the beginning. We went from playing songs to playing three-finger pieces, much simpler, um, introducing time signatures, counting, rests, stuff like that. So uh, it's continuing on that mode, starting basic. It's going to start building up on uh, making things a little more complicated and stuff. But it seems like this is what it should have started out with to begin with. So I think the first 50 days was just kind of like a practice session, and now we're getting into the real stuff. Hey, Jeff, welcome. So is it 52? Did I? What's interesting is I change the, hang on, sorry. I changed the information. Yep. Every day before I finish after I finish the lesson, I go in here and one of the things I do is I change the overlay so that it says the next day. And for some reason, this didn't change. So, welcome to day 52. Anyway, as I said, we're going to continue on where we were yesterday and just kind of see where this goes from here. But so we'll jump into the practice session if I can hit the right button. There we go. Oh, I didn't get things lined up well. So I thought I had this all worked out. Anyway, so let's jump in here and see where we go. So yesterday we started working on some dynamics and that we finished that up. So let's see what else we have here.
In this session, you'll play with dynamics to make a song more interesting. Let's learn the notes first without adding dynamics. You'll be playing with your right hand. Listen first.
I said we're back to basics.
Put your fingers into the same position as mine on the red, orange, and yellow keys. Now let's go through it together.
That was good.
You could play the first section really quietly and the second section louder, or experiment with your own dynamics. Try it out.
What the heck? That is, it didn't seem like what he was playing and what I was playing went together in any way, shape, or form, but that just may be me. Nothing that I've heard before. Anyway, let's skip through that now that we've done it and just go into something
Hey,
fun.
welcome back. Ruben here. So today, let's take a look at part of your world from The Little Mermaid. We're going to be playing the melody of the chorus of the song. We're going to split that melody between two hands, and we're going to look at the lyrics and the relationship between the lyrics and the rhythms, which are really fun. Let's break it into two sections and look just at the first part of that chorus. So first, let's talk about where to place our hands. We can play this entire melody across 8 notes by putting our hands right next to each other. With the left hand, the notes that we'll cover are C, D, and E. And then with the right hand, the notes that we'll cover are F, G, A, B flat, and C.
And that
So if we
sounds
take
familiar.
a look at this first half of the chorus, we can see that the melody is moving in this upward direction, which matches the lyrics: up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. And so you can see this nice connection between the lyrics and the actual musical content. So try out that section a few times, and if you can, listen to the lyrics in your head, and if you're feeling ambitious, you could even try singing along as you play.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the second half of the chorus, which melodically reverses direction and brings us back down.
Actually, Jeff, there's a way to go in and adjust it, but the Learn program kind of does its own thing with colors. I've heard them talking about they're going to make some changes and do some updates that gives you a little bit more control over the lights. It looks better to me in person than what you see, because I have a light shining on from above that's kind of lighting up the keyboard. So it's not as prevalent to you online as it is to me. But yeah, it's something that I've heard some discussion that they're working on.
So in the second half of the chorus, the lyrics are "wandering free, wish I could be part of that world." And I think musically, you can kind of hear this sense of longing, right? She wants to be at the surface, up at those high notes, but then keeps being brought down to these low notes, which we play in the left hand with that low C. So now let's try playing through that second half of the chorus a few times. And again, if it's helpful, try running those lyrics along in your head as you play.
But you're fine. Enough. Okay, we'll move on.
So now let's combine both sections that we learned into the full chorus. Try playing through it a few times until you get the hang of it.
Numbers. That's slow stuff. This going slow is. Want to. It's good. Good thing it does it again. Again. We're going to do it again, I guess. Yeah, much better.
So there's a really fun rhythmic thing that's happening many times throughout this melody. We often hear these 3-note phrases that fit into the space of 2 beats. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So just to demonstrate this rhythmic concept that I'm talking about, and you don't have to play along with me here, I'm going to play this driving 2-beat pattern with my left hand, and in my right hand, I'm going to show you how these 3-note groupings in the melody fit into the space of 2 beats. So to count out my left hand, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then
I like
the
the
right
fact that
hand
they're
will play
showing
the
music.
3-note group. Now I can try looping it over and over again, and you can hear exactly how that full pattern fits together. Now, if we play it with the actual melody notes, it would sound something like this.
And sharps.
And so if we bring it back to the film,
Flats.
I think it's cool to think about those 2 parallel rhythms which are happening at the same time but kind of in conflict with each other. On the one hand, you have this driving, orderly 2-beat rhythm that might represent Ariel's duty and obligation to remain in the undersea world. And on the other hand, you have this aspiration and longing to live more freely in the surface world. Now, you don't always have to dive deep into analyzing every song that you play, and I certainly wasn't the composer, but it can be fun as you're learning a piece to take a peek beneath the surface to find those connections between the music and the meaning of the song. So have fun with it.
Every time. We're going to slow mode. I have a horrible time when it goes real slow like that. Why do I keep wanting to make an E out of the... Not too bad. We hit a streak. Okay. Keep an eye on time. I'll probably play for about 5 more minutes and then I gotta run. I do some volunteer work today, so let's see what happens here.
In this challenge, you're going to play octaves across the whole range. In this challenge, you're going to play octaves across the whole range of your Lumi keyboard. Match notes by colour, starting from the bottom. You only need to use one finger. And when you're comfortable, try adding your own dynamics as you play.
We did good on that one. Yeah. Nice try. Let's try it one more time.
In this challenge, you're going to play octaves across the whole range. In this challenge,
I don't know why she repeats.
Across the whole range
Got
of
a
your Lumi
stutter.
keyboard. Match notes by colour, starting from the bottom. You only need to use one finger. And when you're comfortable, try adding your own dynamics as you play.
See what this says. One more time, and then we're going to quit for the day.
You're going to play octaves across the whole range. In this challenge, you're going to play octaves across the whole range
Hey
of
there.
your Lumi keyboard. Match notes by colour, starting from the bottom.
Welcome to
use one
the
finger.
stream.
And when you're comfortable, try adding your own dynamics as you play.
Just figured out what it's doing. I'm going to do this one more time because the brain just clicked with what they're trying to do. And I'm supposed to be playing this with one hand.
In this challenge, you're going to
I did
play
get 5
octaves across
stars.
the whole range. In this challenge, you're going to play octaves across the whole range of your Lumi
Hey,
keyboard.
Obs.
Match notes by colour, starting from the bottom. You only need to use one finger. And when you're comfortable,
She was saying
try
one
adding
finger,
your
which
own
was throwing me.
dynamics as you play.
And the numbering was showing 1 and 5. What this is doing is getting ready for you to play, you know, octave notes and stuff like that, stretching your hands and getting used to that. So I did pretty good on this one. Didn't get 5 stars this time, but hey, we'll try it again next time. Anyway, I'm gonna have to run to go do my volunteer work today. thank you very much for joining me today on day 52. Thanks, Jeff, for correcting me on that. It's been an interesting journey, and I don't think you were here yesterday, Obbs, but when we started the stage 2 yesterday, we kind of did a step back, and so we've gone back into like real basic stuff, but we're also learning music theory this time through. So like that was playing octaves with one hand, and a lot more in counting and talking about rest. They're starting to show pieces of actual sheet music with the notes going across to kind of help you start learning to read music and that. So I'm excited about this part and seeing where it goes. But, thank you for joining me with day 52, the second day, the second lesson of stage 2. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon again at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So I will see you there if you have time. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here and you would like to join my mailing list, I send an email out once a week, usually Tuesday mornings with the schedule for the week. I kind of do a schedule from Tuesday through the following Monday, since that's kind of how my weeks are numbered, and let you know what I'm doing, kind of give you an update of what happened over the course of the week and stuff. And then I also, if something changes through the week, my schedule changes or I need to make any kind of changes like that, I throw that in there too. I also put this schedule on the YouTube channel in the community section. So if you need anything, if you have any questions about the program, me, what the hell, a crazy 70-year-old is doing, learning the piano again after all these years, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.